What a game. Now the dust has settled. Like, we can actually have a conversation, right, about how the game yesterday between Arsenal and Chelsea unfolded. It was a very weird game, right? It was a game that we don't play often, right? We tend to want to control the game from the get-go, get on the ball, just without trying to start attacking immediately. We want to pass. We want to pass. We want to slow the pace of the game down. We want to control the opposition, control where they want to be, control where they want to run to. We couldn't do any of that, right? We couldn't. We couldn't stand up to the physicality of the game. Our performance for the first 30, 35 minutes was underwhelming. And the bounce of the ball, we were not lucky on some very, very key moments in the game. Like, for example, this guy almost getting injured, Gabriel Jesus, with Cole Palmer snapping at his ankle. That could have been an ankle breaker. And how many games consecutively now we're getting this decision against us? I wasn't particularly mad that he was given a yellow card. I think it was amber, orange. It was in that territory. I've seen decisions like that be red carded a couple of times this season. But since we're not getting the rub of the green when it comes to this decision, but that's by the way. Let's concentrate on what went wrong, right? What went wrong is we couldn't win our individual battles, which is something that hasn't happened to us a lot of times this season. In the last, 60 Premier League games, off the top of my head, the games that I could say we couldn't meet that challenge physically. I think Newcastle, the fourth or fifth game of the season, where we didn't qualify for Champions League, where we fell out and we came fifth. Newcastle away at St. James's Park. What a game. Like, we couldn't physically. We were absolute garbage in that game. Manchester City last season, away from home, was horrible. Brighton at the Emirates, it was a weird game, right? But the intensity of this game, the intensity that Chelsea came into this game with, and the fact that they flooded the midfield, right? You could see we're playing like 4 against 2, and whenever Odegaard comes back to help, we're playing 4 against 3. But Chelsea definitely, they've worked on trying to stop us from the press. They're going to leave us to build up. Oh, Saliba, Gabriel, take the ball. Immediately, we release that ball to the midfield. Gallagher is onto it, right? You see Cole Palmer in the midfield. So more or less, we're playing a 4-4 nothing, more or less. You have the false 9 who was Cole Palmer, whoever gets into that position, coming into midfield immediately, right? Whereas Arsenal wants their number 9 to stay high up during press and to build, right, with one of the flank guys. But it's still a weird game. I thought we were going to be able to beat Chelsea, but every single metric of Chelsea this season portrays a team who is good, right? A team who deserves to be in the upper echelons of the Premier League table. But for some reason, they haven't been. Luckily for us, we're able to snatch a draw from this game, right? We're able to get a draw from this game. Like, I couldn't believe our luck when we scored that goal. Make no mistake, that finish from Declan Rice was absolutely magnificent, right? I understand the error from the keeper. I understand the defenders not blocking the shots. But that finish, you have 2 players right in the line of sight. You have a goalkeeper who is running back to the post. He picked the very perfect place to score that goal, where the goalkeeper, even if he was running at 100 miles an hour, stood no chance. And what happens after then? It changed the entire mood. We know Chelsea squad is a squad that haven't won a lot of things together when they talk about games. They haven't been through a lot of games together. So at the very first sign of adversity, they couldn't handle it. If that game went another 5-10 minutes, Arsenal probably wins that game. That is why I was very disappointed when we came into the second half and immediately we conceded. Right, we considered a fluke goal, and this I'm not. There's no shade on Chelsea or Michael or Modric. It's just it is what it is. And we were so shook. We couldn't play our game. We couldn't get into a flow. We couldn't get to a rhythm. It's a weird game in every facet of the word. It's weird the way we considered the first goal from the penalty spot. We couldn't respond because Chelsea were excellent. We have to give them that. And in the second half, when we came out in the second half and we're passing proper. And we're pushing Benjamin White up. You can see the goal that Michael Modric scored was from Ben White being so high up, making a hospital pass to Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard miscontrolled it and they scored us. It was just a woeful game in every aspect. But we have a lot of positives to take out of the game. The fact that our bench came up trumps. You have Leandro Trossard. Every Premier League team or every European team would be happy to have a player of that talent, a player of that caliber on their bench. Like Kai Havertz, it came on, it was physical, he got us rolling, we got the ball higher up, he pressed excellently in a few, 15 minutes he was on the pitch, it was really good. The same he has been relegated to an impact sub right now. And our players' mental fortitude, right? We might look back on the season at the end of the season and say, okay, the points we gained against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, the 1 point we gained against Tottenham at Emirates Stadium, at the point that tallied up for us to get to this point to be able to win the Premier League title and be called a champion for the first time in 2 decades. That is the truth. That is just the ultimate truth. Winning the Premier League means what? Having more points on board than the other 19 teams. My feeling is the Arsenal fan base have been consistently panicking, right? What 21 points on the same points as City right now. And I understand that. I understand the anxiety from the fan base. I understand the fact that we bottled the Premier League, so to speak, if we have to say that, last season. But you have to learn your lessons as you go, right? And the lessons that we learned from last season is we want to mix it up. We want to make better use of the squad in case some players get injured, understand the squad better to be able to face a bigger challenge this season, right? We're not only in the Premier League, we're trying to win the Carling Cup, we're trying to win the FA Cup, we're trying to win every tournament that we're in. We have a game against Seville on Tuesday. Thomas Partey is going to start that game. I'm positive, right? When Seville is not a joke, right? I understand they've been horrible this season. I actually think they just drew against Real Madrid yesterday. They are an exceptional football team when they want to be. And when they usually want to be is when they have these big European games that they can get a sharp overview. So we have to be wary of that game. You want Partey and Declan Rice in that midfield. And hopefully Odegaard can come up with the goods. Like lately his game has been off and on. We need Martin Odegaard. We need that midfield balance. Finally, can we get the balance in that midfield? Fabio Vieira, is he good enough? Can he do? He can do a job. It's quite obvious, right? So the impactors coming from the bench are going to be very, very important this season. And hopefully, I don't want to talk about the January transfer window really right now. I just want to focus on the players that we have. My expectation is I want us to keep going, but by this second international break, whereby we're going to be able to play 3 months uninterrupted, that is when I want to make sure that we are free flowing, right? That is when I want to know, okay, we know what our starting 12, 13, 14 players are. We know what we want to do. We know how we want to face each and every opposition. Right now, just keep getting the points on the board and improving gradually as we go. Right now, we need to work on our fitness. Get Trossard fit, get Martinelli fit, get Saka fit. Get these guys playing together again, developing that chemistry, and I am absolutely certain we'll be there or thereabout. Thank you guys for having me. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, share with your family and friend. Stay blessed. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Goodbye.